Okay, I'm gonna have flailing hands. Let's not destroy things, please. Wah, wah. Is it really a floss tube if there's no cross stitch behind me? I don't even know. I talk too much. Hello, Flosstube. My name is Amanda. I live in Northern Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley, and I'm excited to be here. I'm also very nervous to be here and share with you what I know, what I don't know, what I hope to learn, and who I connect with within the cross-stitch community, within Flosstube. So I want to start off by saying thank you for having provided all of your videos and inspiration, or should we call it enabling, when it comes to stitching. I've really found cross-stitch to be quite relaxing, and I really enjoy it to kind of wind down at the end of the day. So I'm going to jump in. I don't know much about cross-stitch. I've really been watching Flosstube for months and months, thinking I don't need another hobby, and then all of a sudden I got bored one day. I went to the craft store and I bought this guy. It's been calling me for a very long time. I think this came out in 2020. So Cross Stitch for the Soul, Emma Congdon. And I have walked by it and said, you don't need another hobby, until I could walk by it no more. So for my very first cross stitch attempt, it came from this book. And of course, I chose one of the largest projects with so many colors. Ooh, that's a chart. And I got all of the coordinating DMC and started on this guy. Ooh, get rid of my face. Can you see him? I love it. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. Inspirational, is it not? Quite a fight to get through this. I picked up some, where'd it go? You know, it's hiding from me because it is in the ultimate timeout. I picked up all the coordinating floss. I then went to Hobby Lobby. I am lucky enough to have 3 major, like, big box craft stores in my hometown. So I can hop around to them just to get everything that I need. Everything that you need, maybe not everything that you wish you would have for your cross stitch patterns. But I was able to find at Hobby Lobby this Artiste 28 count even weave 100% cotton in white. Affordable it is. And I really like the feel of it. It is incredibly soft, and I happen to stitch in hand. I learned from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, watched her video once, jumped right into it. So thank you for that. I don't really know what to say. This is what it looks like. You're like, hey, that doesn't look so bad. I'll probably put in a photo of maybe one of the catastrophes that happened in this stitch, but we've called this a cross stitch crisis. What are we calling this? A cross stitch casualty. I'm done. I decided last night, no more. Thank you so much for teaching me what I needed to know, but I can no longer continue to stress and count and rip out and restitch on this project. I have stitched, ripped, stitch, ripped, and then stitched again, and I'm still off somewhere. This just isn't working out. And it's no longer bringing me joy, and I have to call it quits. And I say thank you to this project for being my first one, for teaching me a couple things, and I'll show you how I know that I learned from it. This side is the side that I began on. You see all of the carrying over of the floss, all of the knots and the little ends, and then this is the side that I've been working on the past couple of days. You see how clean it looks here. Oh, I don't know, after having stitched it like 6 or 7 times. So I do, appreciate the journey that came from this piece, but I can no longer subject myself to the stress and the disappointment in the errors that I've made. So still absolutely love the book, Cross Stitch for the Soul. I'll find another pattern to pull from that, but I think this was a great piece to learn on. I have one finished item ever. And since I have begun cross-stitching, one item finished, but not only finished, it is fully finished. Fully finished meaning the stitching has been completed, and then I've created it or displayed it somehow so that you don't have to think about it again. It's now a part of your decor. I will show you the photo. I found this on Etsy by Buddy, Cross Stitch Pattern by Stitch Michelle, stitchmichelle.etsy.com. And then I'll make sure that I give you a photo of the finished piece. I actually gave this to my sister. Oh no, was there too much glare? I love it. My sister and I reference this quote often throughout the year, not just during the holidays. And so I've learned that I love small patterns. They give me some feeling of self-accomplishment as I'm working on these bigger pieces. I can have that feeling that I've completed a project. And I tend to give mine away. So I'm going to work on being a selfish cross stitcher too. Don't you worry. I want to show you or tell you a little bit about the fabric that I used for it. Again, I have just the big box stores. I don't really have any local needlework shops near me. I'm trying to think of the terminology for your local shop. I'm also a knitter, so I'm used to like LYS. I gotta think of what LNS. I'll look at that again. Things I'm learning. But I ended up using this again from Hobby Lobby, Artiste 14 count Ada in white opal. So if you probably can't tell because of the glare, it sparkles. You might see it a little bit there. Perfect for a majestic narwhal. Come on. And I have this in a project bag for another reason, I'll tell you. So I only have one finished object. I have two whips. I might just have one whip actually, because I'm done with the one I was working on. Look how small my start is. So hopefully I'll have more to show you next time. But now that that is no longer a part of me, I'm going to show you the other active whip that I've been working on. Same designer, different book. Still fall in love with these designs. I'm in love with typography. I think it's gorgeous. And so this one is also an Emma Congdon Cross Stitch for the Heart. This one I found on Amazon. As I was looking through social media, I found out she had another book. She has more. She has multiple books and she sells on Etsy. And of course, again, for my second project, for my third cross stitch, excuse me, Narwal. I go big. I'm going with Queen of Hearts. Love it. How cute. So, have I stitched and ripped out and stitched and ripped out again on this one? Yes, but I feel like I'm really focused on stitch count. If you guys have any tips for me, please let me know. I have to count and recount and count. It has been in timeout for a couple of days. This is my progress. Can you see that? I got the whole border done. I've got the queue. I've got a little bit of the inner border. This part, she's in timeout. We got to rip that. That's okay. I'm not upset. I think what I am enjoying about cross stitch, or I'm really focusing on for cross stitch, is that I'm not afraid of attacking or correcting those mistakes. Very much would make mistakes in knitting and completely give up and put them in timeout and never look at them again. This one, I literally tell myself, stop being afraid of your cross stitch. Just go in there and finish it. I love the colors. I love how crisp the lines are. Talk about the fabric. This again is the 28 count. I am limited in the fabrics that I have access to, and I really enjoy the 28 count even weave. Can you see that? I think you can. Artiste, Hobby Lobby. Affordable. If you're looking for maybe not so fancy fabrics. Also using the called for DMCs. I made my own little card here of all the colors. I've upgraded the things that I use on my projects, so don't worry. We're not just working on 3x5 cards, but it works. If that's what you've got, I put a hole punch in there. I put the labels and the DMC numbers. There we go. They are really long. This is something that I also learned from the other typography piece that I am no longer stitching, that I cut those strands so short they were about this long. And then I started doing the loop method, the loop start, and so they were really this long when I was stitching with it. It was so incredibly frustrating. And so I even went back and rebought all of that DMC thinking, okay, this is the price I pay for starting a craft. It's okay to spend a little more money, repeat the DMC purchase. And then I'm just not stitching it anymore, but that's okay. I'll use it for something else. But anyway, I use the loop method, so really I'm stitching with something about my arm's length when I am, my forearm, when I'm working on this project. And it's working out for me. I enjoy not having to switch my floss as often. So there's a whip. I have no idea how this video is going. I have a list of things I want to talk about, and I got so nervous I just started talking. So I'm gonna keep going. There is a whip. That's literally all I have for whips. You saw my finished item, my casualty, and my one whip. But here's my plan. I don't know if you noticed behind me. Let me see if I can. There's an empty frame back there. Back to me. I've recently emptied it and moved. It used to be my dog. I'm going to lift this up. It's going to be super wobbly. My dog is up here now. She passed. I got an awesome frame for her collar. And I have this space. I know exactly what I want in this. This can now be an official floss tube with cross stitch behind me because I am going to stitch. And this will go on the needles tonight. I'm going to stitch this guy. How cute. Let's tell you what it is. I don't even know what it is. This is something I should have been prepared for. Lady Goose by Mama Witch X Stitch or Cross Stitch. How cute is that goose? I think my favorite is the color palette. I think that's what's drawing me to it. Check out this color palette. Flippin' cute, nice, warm, cozy, all DMC floss. And I decided I'm not going to stitch it on the black that I found again at Hobby Lobby. Artiste 14 count Yorkshire. I don't know what the difference is between Yorkshire and Ada. It feels and looks like an Ada. This is in the gray colorway, 14 count. The only thing I can tell that is different technically is that it's not 100% cotton. It's 96% cotton, 4% polyester. Also something I have to learn. What's the difference between these fabrics? And so I think this is gonna look great. I'm not even worried about the lighter colors having pop on this background. I think it'll look fine and it will blend. It won't, you know, be such an eyesore compared to my muted decorations that I typically have in my living area. So I am pumped to start that. I really do hope that this is all making sense. That is going to get on the needles this evening. I have a couple of other things I want to go through. I want to go through some that I have kitted up and then maybe just a little bit of acquisitions. I am building my stash a little quicker than I would like. I've got to take a step back. However, with the theme of Emma Congdon and her Stitchrovia, I have kitted up. You can see my kit. Right now I just have it in a plastic paper cover. I've got my fabric. I've got all of my floss in these little bags. I'm going to see how this works compared to that card. We'll see. We'll try it. You gotta learn, right? What works best for you. This time, I found this fabric in my stash. And I am very much a quilter, sewer. I think at one point I even tried embroidery and it just didn't stick. Look at me. Being awesome. Do you see what this says? 28 count even weave. And I just pinned it on there. You know how I found out this was a 28 count? I literally took a ruler to it. And I counted on it. It's a nice big piece. I must have used something. Took a ruler, find out how many stitches I could make within an inch. Labeled it. So I'm going to stitch it on this and hope all goes well. This is a white. I think I got it at Joann's off of a bolt. I really couldn't tell you. Maybe it was even Hobby Lobby. I wish I knew. all of the called for DMC floss. I'll bet you want to know what the heck I'm stitching because I haven't said that. It's Spring Ducklings by Stitchrovia. Again, these colors are calling me. Look how cute that is. In no way does this go with any of my normal decor, but I can't resist it. That's flippin' adorable. So, Spring Ducklings, DMC floss, super cute. That's been kitted and ready to go. I've got another one. Again, I was on a Stitchrovia kick, and I know he's hiding. Here he is. How about Busy Santa? Look at that guy. Only I'm going to branch out a little bit. I'm going to get creative. My Santas, when I decorate for Christmas, dress in pink. So I think I'm going to have a blend of pink and red Santas. I have all of the called for flosses. Only this time at Hobby Lobby, I found these cards. They were already punched. They are numbered. It has a spot for you to write kit or project name and number, date started, date completed, and then on the back there are spaces to list. If I can get it in front of my face. There are spaces to list the DMC floss number and the symbol within your pattern so that you can keep track. I'm a big fan. I think this is definitely what triggered me to use that 3x5 card, but I'm a really big fan of that. And again, already cut and ready to go. I don't know that I will, I say cast this on, that's the knitter in me. I don't know that I will stitch this immediately, but I like thinking if I have this moment where I want to start something new, I'm ready to go. Just go into that room and stitch it. And guess what? I'm putting it on that same Ada that I used for the Narwal. This is the Artiste from Hobby Lobby, 14 count white opal. I'm excited. I feel like a lot of Christmas things just need sparkle. They're just magical. Who doesn't love that? What else do I have? Here's the other thing. This I cast on and ripped out. Cast on. Again, please allow me some grace for that. This I started and then ripped out and then started again. And I'm going to rip it out and I'm going to put it aside. I'm not going to be upset with it like my first one. The reason why is just because of the color. I am working, or I would like to work on Elegant Lace by Works by ABC. I saw this on a Flosstube that I wish I knew. I will list below what Flosstube influenced / enabled me to stitch this. This is on a 36 count linen, but it talks about DMC Floche. And here's a learning opportunity for me. I have no idea what that is. DMC Floche and then strands of DMC. So there's a difference and the color is the same, but I think the fiber is different and how it presents itself, how it stitches itself. So I am not going to settle for a color fabric that is just not going to work for me. The pattern, I really like muted, we call it low volume in the quilting world, pieces to decorate with. So I tried it on this Ada, this natural Ada. I don't have the, I'm sure it came from Hobby Lobby again, and that it's a 14 count. Might be an 18 count. It's an 18 count. But I'm not happy with the color. It doesn't pop. On the Flosstube that I'll link regarding someone that stitched this, she stitched it on like this gorgeous mustard yellow color. And I am not going to settle for a color that I don't love, especially if it's going to be on my wall for a while and it could be an heirloom piece, for goodness sakes. I'm going to find a color that I love. So I'm just simply setting it aside until maybe I can find a local needle workshop and really get my hands on some material. I don't know how long I've been talking to you, but that is really all I have for like upcoming projects I know that I'm going to work on that I've kitted up. If you want to see what I've purchased, I have a very small amount of what I've purchased to show you. I just recently discovered 123 Stitch. I'm really sad that I didn't know about it earlier. Actually, it's probably a good thing that I didn't know about it earlier. I went ahead and ordered a bunch of floss to go with these patterns that I'm about to show you. These patterns did not come from 123 Stitch. I will link below the store on Etsy those came from. Again, I am not prepared. It's my first video. Should I have written down where I got these? Yes, I'm learning. But there's something about trying to fall asleep and scrolling through Etsy that gets me into a lot of trouble. So now that I'm aware of that, I'll be careful. Let's just go over some patterns that I ordered. This is Madame Chantilly Autumn Essentials. Check that out. How cute is that? This would make a really cute pillow, and I am a big fan of autumn colors and autumn motifs. I'm more of an autumn girly than a Halloween. So I'm really excited to work on this one. I don't know, it does have DMC thread. Let me see if there's any other information I can give you on this. Not much. DMC. On a natural linen. I'll figure it out. Again, just something to learn from. If you guys have any information, any suggestions, have you stitched this before? Put it down below. Let me know what you've done. I would love to kind of compare, give me some inspiration. Here's another autumn piece. I've also learned from watching Flosstube that that the style and design of Quaker is something that I run across often, and I didn't understand what it was until I kept seeing it. And I was like, I can pinpoint a Quaker pattern now when I look at it, but I didn't understand it. But I found one. I found one that fits my liking. It's called Autumn Quaker, designed by Lindsey for Primrose Cottage. How pretty. Now this is where I went on 123 Stitch and kind of treated myself. This is just a single color floss that the model is stitched with. Color and Cotton Pumpkin Pie. You better believe I found it. This is fantastic. If you can see, it is a tonal. Gorgeous. I have a feeling I'm going to stitch this more than once. It's on a 28 count mushroom. I also ordered that fabric for myself. So I'm excited to have that come in. You will see that on the needle soon. Next one, I want this for myself. I want this for my friends. I can see many coffee stations with this on it. This is Blessings Overflow by Sweet Wings Studio. My cup overflows with blessings. Check out the color. It's so miniature. This is Graceful Gray White-Celt or White-Celt? I'm going with White-Celt linen. And I did order that for myself from 123 Stitch. And the coordinating DMC flosses. Here's what I've decided. I want to have more smalls on the go so that I can take some mental breaks from those bigger pieces. Like the Queen of Hearts, that's a big piece for me. So I want small ones like this. This should not take very long to stitch up. Can easily be done maybe within a weekend. Knowing me, maybe a little longer. So I'm really excited to have stitches like this. I consider this to be a smaller stitch as well. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that's not so small. Here's one, my last one that I'll show you, and then I'll wrap up. Guys, I don't know how long I'm holding you down. This is from, it says hello from Liz Matthews, and it's Poppy cross stitch. This is one that I purchased strictly because I just want it on my wall. And the one that I want strictly is this one. The one that I want specifically is this one. Do you see how this one is finished? It is, I'm trying to focus here. It kind of has its natural finish on the end. They frayed the linen and put it on a smaller count, possibly a linen, if not a burlap. That's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous, fully finished piece. I went with the DMC. And so if I had to ask you, any way to contribute to the comments would be, what is your favorite fiber to stitch with? And if you could tell me the benefit, it would really help me understand maybe what to use in my next project, what to enhance that experience, that calming nature that I feel when it comes to stitching. And I typically cross stitch in the evening as I'm winding down, and it really is just that repetitive calmingness that just comes over you. And I think that's why I'm really enjoying it and really kind of grasping onto this craft. That's really all that I have for you. I look forward to coming back. I am so excited to have found Flosstube, and I really hope to meet, maybe virtually, maybe find out, what there is locally for me in this realm. But really maybe go through the ups and downs of this journey with like-minded people, like tenured stitchers, and learn from those who have been doing this for quite some time. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll let you go. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye guys.